Chers téléspectateurs, vous êtes de retour sur le plateau d'Africa 24 en direct d'Abidjan dans le cadre de la 5e édition d'un forum qui est organisé par la CGECI en Côte d'Ivoire, la CGECI Academy. Nous recevons un invité majeur de cet événement puisqu'il s'agit d'un invité qui a reçu un prix. En l'occurrence, Elumelu, le président de Heirs Holdings, de UBA, de la fondation Elumelu. Welcome, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Alors, chers téléspectateurs, cette interview se déroulera en langue anglaise car bien évidemment notre invité s'exprime dans la langue de Shakespeare. First of all, congratulations for this additional award.
Thank you, Anja.
So when you look at Ivory Coast, what do you see exactly as chairman of UBA?
When I look at Ivory Coast, I've been coming here, but I must say that the Ivory Coast I see today is very impressive. I like the level of organization that I see here. I see progress, and I interact with my staff who work at UBA Côte d'Ivoire. They are very optimistic about the country, about the economy, about our business in this place. And our customers tell us this too, through increased patronage. So I think things are looking up in Côte d'Ivoire. And I like, one thing I must point out too is, I like the government's commitment to entrepreneurship. And why do I say this? The Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program we launched last year. The government of Côte d'Ivoire were impressed by that, and the process of executing an MOU with the Elumelu Foundation to be able to support, open it up to more indigenes of Côte d'Ivoire. Today we have 35 entrepreneurs on the program from Côte d'Ivoire, but the government is saying it's not enough, they want more. So I like that kind of government. It shows responsiveness. It shows the government that realizes that the private sector needs to play a key role in
And is that something that you also enjoy in your country, in Nigeria?
I like that question. I mean, if we didn't get this level of support and encouragement, we would not have even taken off. So I would say when we launched the Elumelu Foundation, the first boot camp that assembled 1,000 Africans from Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, Cameroon, Kenya. The Vice President of Nigeria was there in person, represent the President of Nigeria. There was a goodwill message sent by the President of Nigeria, and everything went very well. So we get a lot of encouragement and support. But for me, it's not about support and encouragement for the program. It's about support of all African leaders, all presidents across the continent, towards improving the conditions that will enable our young entrepreneurs succeed. Because the success of African entrepreneurs is success for the continent.
And as the chairman of Heirs Holding, do you really consider Ivory Coast as a land of opportunities compared to Nigeria, for example, the biggest economy of the whole continent?
Nigeria is clearly the biggest economy on the continent, but you must realize that for so many reasons, we have to be here, and I see a lot of economic opportunities in this place. One is the business environment here so far appears very good, and that's one. Two is, even from business risk perspective, you need to diversify your earnings and your earning geography. So we earn a lot in Nigeria, but we're earning also from 18 other African countries. And that is the way to go. I see Africa as our market, not just Nigeria as our market. And the opportunities, the African economies, countries, the economies are growing. And so we want to be part of that growth story. We want to play our own part in helping to see growth in the countries. We also want to play our own part, want to be positioned to reap the advantage of being early movers. We have been in Côte d'Ivoire for so many years. Since 2007, we've been in Côte d'Ivoire. Even when some people, companies were not so excited to come here. And today we're reaping the benefit of that expansion, that foresight. UBA today, United Bank for Africa, operates in 19 African countries. If we didn't see opportunities in those countries, we wouldn't have gone there. And if we were also narrow-minded, we would not have gone beyond Nigeria to do business in these other countries. And that is what the African private sector should begin to do.
So when are you planning to invest in Ivory Coast?
We already have investment in Ivory Coast. We have banking area, we have investment.
Besides UBA?
Besides banking, but that's one of it. And don't forget that banking is a strong catalyst for economic development and economic growth. And also the Elumelu Foundation will have 35 entrepreneurs that we are funding freely, and supporting the training, mentoring, so that they become the future Elumelus of Cote d'Ivoire. So the truth is, I see a lot of opportunities, and we will do more because we are welcomed in this country. The Prime Minister and I were discussing about the economic integration of Africa, and we're saying that you cannot integrate Africa without transportation. And he says to me, if you're interested in airline business, come talk to us. So we like that kind of responsiveness. It's not as if we're considering it or not, but I like to go to countries, to do business in countries where the political leadership see a need, a justification, and an urgency for private sector investment, because governments on their own do not create employment. The private sector creates employment. And if you support the private sector, then you are fundamentally addressing the issue of unemployment. And we do have that challenge in Africa today.
Do you know successful entrepreneurs in Ivory Coast, for example?
I think we just finished a panel conversation, and someone said they don't have many business champions in Cote d'Ivoire, but I said, no, I think they do have. You see, every country has its own growth model. You might have the middle class that is very strong. That on its own is a growth style. That can also lead to significant economic opportunities and development, and I see a lot of that in this country. And it depends on what you mean by successful business people. I see a lot of successful business people. I interact with some of them.
Young entrepreneurs and experienced ones are watching us today, and some of them would like to know you more, to know how you became so successful. So I have a few quick questions for you to be answered also quickly. Okay. Do you work more or less than 8 hours a day?
Look at my eyes. What does it tell you? I slept, I think I went to bed about 2 a.m. this morning, and when I was going to bed, I sent a note to one of my colleagues, Bola Atta, and I said, Bola, wake me up at 7 o'clock, because I knew I had a 7:30 a.m. meeting this morning. So we work hard. But let me use this medium to talk to African youth. The one sure way to success is through hard work. Today, you see the younger generation tell you don't need to work hard, you don't need to work smart. No, you need to do both.
Exactly. Do you expect your staff to work as hard as you do?
For me, one of our core values, the name of our holding company, our parent company, is Heirs Holdings. H in Heirs Holdings. So Heirs is an acronym for our values. The H there is for hard work. So I work hard, and I expect people around me to also work hard. But we also know where to draw the line. But hard work is so important for success in business. Hard work is important for winning. Hard work is important for championship. Hard work is good. Like we're talking of the development of Africa, and we're saying entrepreneurs have a key role to play. And I say to the Elumelu entrepreneurs and African entrepreneurs, I say, your ideas can transform Africa. These ideas are nothing if you cannot translate the ideas to action. And the process of translating ideas to action requires a lot of energy, a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of discipline. That must happen. It cannot happen on a platter of gold. Young Africans should realize that they cannot grow, they cannot succeed if they don't work hard, if they don't make sacrifices, if they are not disciplined, they can't achieve it.
So they need a lot of energy. So do you believe that working with like younger staff under 40 years old, for example, is more productive?
No, I have people who work with 60, and they're extremely hardworking, and they're very, very, they are work class. I also have the younger ones who are energetic and very intelligent and very hardworking. What we need is a mix. You need the young ones to learn from the older ones, because you see a lot more organization, a lot more discipline in older ones. You also need the old ones to learn what's happening in the current world. Today, I'm on Twitter, Tony Elumelu, my handle, and I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, because of the young people I work with. I recall before I went.
Are you or is your team?
No, I am.
You are?
Definitely nothing good. I, Tony Elumelu, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. And I respond to my messages, I tweet, etc. Like I'm going to tweet this interview.
And the last question.
Yes.
When you have a major decision to make, do you consult other people around you, or do you follow your instinct?
So let's say that people who work with me know this, and I will send you a book on a Power of Vision, a book, an anthology, so to speak, on me and my practices and what I do and how I do them. And also the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneur, the 1,000 every year entrepreneurs, Tony Elumelu entrepreneurs who are across Africa. We put them through a 12-week training program. And one of the models, one of the things we train them on is what we call the TOE way. The TOE way is my initial, how I have succeeded in business, so that hopefully they too can practice it. One of the things we teach there is business decision making, how I make decisions by consultation. I'll put something on the table and we'll discuss it. But my colleagues also know that the fact that I put something on the table and we discuss does not necessarily mean that what you say I should do, I will do. Because I also have my own basic intelligence to listen to the emotion. I also have experience I've gathered over the years doing business to know what I think is right and not right. So I listen, I must put everything on the table, and most times I will say that we'll make collective decisions. And that is why in our group, when we make decisions, everyone keys into it, because as much as possible, it's usually made collectively. And that also is what I commend to people who want to do business.
Thank you, Tony Elumelu, for answering these questions.
Thank you.